Alright, so I figure open the video up with the popcorn bucket of Deadpool and Wolverine for the Regal exclusive one for IMAX. They also gave me a collectible ticket. Have no idea where that went, but we have baby pool right here. This thing, you fill your drink up in here, and popcorn comes out right back there. It's cute. It's going to be definitely like a new display piece that's going to go right up here. Just like that. But what is up, guys? Deadpool and Wolverine, directed by Sean Levy, and it stars Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. Let's talk about the synopsis that they have listed for this film, and then we're going to dive right in. Spoilers and all, so if you haven't seen this film, go out and see it. That's all I'm going to say. So a listless Wade Wilson toils away in civilian life with his days as the morally flexible mercenary Deadpool behind him. But when his homeworld faces an existential threat, Wade must reluctantly suit up again with an even more reluctant Wolverine. All right, guys. So I'm just going to say, I saw this movie on Thursday night at IMAX. And honestly, we know with Deadpool and Wolverine, there were so many high expectations going into it. What are the cameos going to be? How is this film going to impact the MCU further? Is it going to even be good? We know that the MCU is at a low point right now. Even Deadpool says that in the film at one point, which I thought was hilarious. But what are we going to really get? So I got into this packed theater. This was the first sold-out theater I've been in all year. The most recent one that I've ever been in was Oppenheimer, I believe. Maybe it was Oppenheimer, or Barbie. But so to speak, got into the theater, and I finally just said, you know what, let's fucking go. Let's watch this film and see how it goes, right? And I have to say, Deadpool and Wolverine is a phenomenal film from start to finish. There's so much heart. There's so much emotion in this film. The comedy is great. The action is great. The spectacle is there. It's just a fun fucking time at the movies. It really is. Like I said, one of the things that I had a big worry about going into the film was the story and the heart of the story. The final trailer, even though I didn't talk about it really that much on my channel, really set that emotional build up to the story really well. It's about Deadpool trying to save his family, which was all left on that little piece or that little picture that he had, his family, and from with all the stuff going on with the TVA and Cassandra Nova, while Wolverine is trying to right his wrongs at what happened in his world, getting all of his X-Men killed. And when we get introduced to this Wolverine, which I'll talk about in a little bit, you can really see that sadness and that sad, depressing vibe that this Wolverine carries on with him because he got all of his mutants killed. Though, guys, in the Deadpool films previous years, whether it's Deadpool 1 or 2, has always been flaky, so to speak. It doesn't always look the best. In Deadpool and Wolverine, you can see the budget shows a little bit more. The CGI looks great. The visual effects look great. The fight sequences, the choreography, the action, it's all there. So they did a really good job on all that stuff. And the CGI, like I said, is definitely way better in this film compared to the other two. So one of the things, my biggest nitpick with this film is it's only 2 hours long. And I feel like with this being the longest Deadpool film of 2 hours, I think it's 2 hours and 6 minutes. I think this film could have benefited with a little bit more extra runtime, whether it was 10 or 15 minutes. When this film starts, and whether you guys might like that or might hate that, but the film starts and the train starts rolling and it doesn't stop and it speeds up. And I felt like there could have been a little bit more throughout the film of like breathing moments, so to speak. And then because there was like when the film ended, I was like, fuck, that's it. Like I wanted more, and that's always a good thing. But with a 2 hour and 7 minute runtime, it's a fine runtime. I just feel like it would have definitely benefited more if it was maybe 2 hours and 20 minutes and something like that, and just let us breathe and see more of these characters interact with each other. But the film has a great score. I forgot who the composer was for the score, and great song choices, including Madonna, as we know through the trailers. And that song choices were top fucking notch. AC/DC and Madonna. Fuck yeah. Now let's talk about Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds coming back as their characters of Deadpool and Wolverine. You guys knew it from the trailers, and you could just tell these two are just electric on fucking screen, and their performances are fucking phenomenal. Now, it's hard for me to talk about Hugh's performance as Logan Wolverine in this film compared to Logan. I really, really love Logan as its standalone type, Western type, grounded film. So it's kind of hard for me to compare it to something like this. All I know is he is great in this film as well. I have to go back and rewatch Logan to see that performance compared to this performance. Although for some reason, I feel like his performance stands out a little bit more in this film. I don't know why, but Ryan Reynolds owns the character of Deadpool. He is fucking phenomenal, hilarious. He's great in this film too as well. And we knew that from the trailers. You could see it. Now let's talk about the cameos, guys. Like I said, we're gonna get into full spoilers right now. So the cameos we start off with going on Earth 616 after the events of Deadpool 2, after Deadpool fucks up the whole timeline, and we see that his girlfriend is no longer with him. He kind of pushes her away, stuff like that. He's been working with Peter as a car salesman, but we see him go to 616 and interact with Happy Hogan about getting a job as an Avenger. Now, he also does get denied. But what I thought was kind of weird, and it clicked with me the second watch, I was like, at first I thought it was present day, but I remember that when he changed the timeline, it was back in March 14th of 2018. And he went to Earth 616 on March 14th, 2018. Therefore, who's still alive? Tony. So when they were talking about, is the man going to be joining us and stuff like that, I was like, wait a minute. Like, why don't they just say that he's dead? But I'm like, oh shit, that's right. This is still taking place on March 14th, so he's still alive. I thought that was pretty cool. But their interaction, Jon Favreau and Ryan Reynolds, I fucking love the jokes about him being one of those, like, I forgot the name of it, but like the car boys and that stuff. And I like when fucking Wade says to him, like, oh, what's your superpower? Parallel parking. I thought that was hilarious. I really did. Okay. All right. Whatever. But let's talk about the cameo scenes that when Deadpool goes through the multiverse to find his Wolverine. We get a bunch of them, which I thought was really fucking cool. So we get crucified Wolverine. We get short little Wolverine, played both by Hugh Jackman. We get the Wolverine that goes up against the Hulk with the brown suit, which I thought was fucking sick. And we see the Hulk in the film, that looks like the right kind of Hulk, not the She-Hulk shit that they've been pulling, and the baby Hulk or Professor Hulk looked like the Berserk Hulk. I wish we would have got a little bit more of that fight, though. That would have been so fucking cool. We see Old Man Logan, once again, Hugh Jackman. And probably my favorite cameo, obviously, in this sequence was the Calverine. Henry Cavill playing Wolverine. Now, guys, who fucking knows if Henry Cavill will end up playing Wolverine in the X-Men universe that they reboot? Who fucking knows? I would love it. And I love the joke that Deadpool makes saying, hey, we're going to treat you better than those shitheads up the street, meaning DC, because they treated him like fucking shit, and we all know that. But it was just cool seeing him. And he needs to be Wolverine. I will campaign for him. Who fucking cares about the little comic accurate, little tiny Hugh Jackman? Wolverine does not need to be short. He can be tall. Just fucking please. Just let Henry Cavill be Wolverine. Give him some type of character that will be fucking respected. Because even though we all love him as Superman, he didn't get his time to shine. All right, we're talking about... But with that being said, that's another reason why I wanted to wait a couple more days, because I did want to talk full spoilers. But with the full cameos in the film, I love seeing X-23 back in the film. She is great. It gives that emotional push from Logan, that father and daughter storyline. Daphne Keane is just great as this character. I love seeing her in the film. And like I said, that connection between her and Logan, even though this is a different Logan as well, it's really unique and it's powerful, especially for us watching the film. It shows that right there. Now, let's get into the cooler ones too as well. We see Johnny Storm played by Chris Evans, which I love his entrance being treated as, oh, it's Captain America, but it's actually Johnny Storm. And who would have thought you get to hear Chris Evans in a Marvel movie swearing? And I just thought it was fucking hilarious. And then I found it fucking hilarious that Deadpool gets him end up killed by Cassandra Nova by making up all the shit that he says, even though the post-credit scene, he corrects it. But I love the part where Logan just goes up to Wade and says, look what you did. You just got him fucking killed. I don't know. Just, like I said, just Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, their comedic timing is just perfect. And it just fucking works. But let's talk about Channing Tatum as Gambit. Thank fucking Lord. I've always been a big campaigner of Channing Tatum in general. I think he's a great actor. I really do. Love him in 21 Jump Street. I even enjoyed him in G.I. Joe. Fuck you guys. But I will say that he never got his fair shot to ever even play Gambit, and in this film, he really does shine as this character. I like how they did make fun of his accent in the film because it's very heavy, so to speak. The accent that Rami LeBeau is, or that Channing's going for Rami LeBeau, but I think his performance was fucking awesome. We also see Jennifer Gardner return as Elektra, which I thought was badass as well. I love the jokes that they made about Daredevil and her, which obviously you know Jennifer Gardner and Ben Affleck dated. They had kids together. They were married, not anymore. And one of the fucking coolest ones was Wesley Snipes returning as Blade, and his one line of dialogue that I really liked is, "There's only gonna be one Blade." Yeah, because we can't get a Blade solo film made with Mahershala Ali because they don't know what the fuck they're doing over there at Marvel. Hopefully they get that corrected. But he was badass in this film. And I love the way that they use these big 4 cameos, that they make sense in the film. They're taken care of too. They're not just there for a cash grab or anything like that. They fucking serve their purpose in the story. And that's one thing I was like, wow, that it works. It works perfectly. And just a couple smaller ones, we see Toad. Obviously, we see Sabretooth, who dies instantly by Wolverine. We see Lady Deadpool, played by Blake Lively. I think she just voiced her, basically. We see Kidpool, Nice Pool, which I thought he was hilarious. Dogpool, and a bunch of other Deadpools as the cameos go. But as for the villain of Cassandra Nova, I thought the actress did a really good job. She definitely holds a threat level in the MCU now with her powers, especially mutation or mutant powers, being Charles' sister. One of the things I kind of wish is that we did get a little cameo from Charles, whether it was James McAvoy or Patrick Stewart. I was kind of shocked that we didn't. But let's just say everything with the cameos in this film, way fucking better than what we got in Multiverse of Madness. Let's just straight up say that. Very satisfied with her playing a villain. I think she did a great job. I think Cassandra Nova's place in this film, being held in the void by the TVA, then eventually coming out and trying to destroy or take over the time machine, I think it was called, or the time ripper, I think. That was cool. So I just want to mention some of the scenes that I really, really enjoyed in this film. The car fight sequence between Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know why. I just thought it was fucking funny and it's just cool as shit. And I don't know, it was hilarious and I loved every single second of it. When you guys see it in theaters or if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about, the Honda Odyssey fucking sequence when they're fighting literally in the car from day to night. I thought that was fucking hilarious. I would have to say though, probably my favorite sequence in the film is when Deadpool and Wolverine go up against all the Deadpool variants and Wolverine puts on the fucking mask. First time we see Hugh Jackman wearing the mask. It looks fucking sick. It's awesome. This fucking mask right here, it just looks sick. I tell you, Madonna starts playing Like a Prayer, and there's this fucking 3 to 4 minute full berserker, bloody, gory fight sequences between Deadpool and Wolverine murdering all these Deadpools, even though most of them don't die. Anyways, it was fucking rad. It was fucking insane, and I loved every second of it. Now, I've seen this film twice, guys. I'm going to be going later on today to see it one more time, and then probably obviously take a break from there. But to see that all, holy fuck, it was just fucking awesome, and I loved every single second of it. So I would have to say that that's definitely, with Hugh Jackman wearing the mask as well, killing all these fucking people, or berserkering mode, I gotta say that this probably was my favorite sequence in the movie. But as for the future of the MCU and these characters, they saved the timeline, they saved their Fox timeline, and like I said, with this film, it feels like a love letter to all the Fox characters, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, Blade, all those characters. It feels like a love letter to all of them. But I will have to say that there really is no direction between where Deadpool and Wolverine, at least Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, are heading. They talk a little briefly at the end, and Deadpool says, "Will I see you again? Or does that mean you're going to stick around?" He's like, "Probably not." So it leaves it possibly, same thing with Deadpool 2. I imagine we're guaranteed, I feel like we will see Ryan Reynolds. There's a higher percentage that we'll see Ryan Reynolds return as Deadpool in the MCU or what, than Hugh Jackman. I have a weird feeling we will see Hugh Jackman again. I feel like Avengers Secret Wars is going to do a lot of this, but there is no clear direction. Obviously, this film is going to make a bank. So I have a feeling we're going to see these characters again. And look at this. We never would have thought we would have saw fucking Hugh Jackman return as Wolverine again as with the comic accurate suit, and this looks so sick. So honestly, guys, I think there's a high chance that we can. But overall, Deadpool and Wolverine, it's a blast. It's a film that you guys must go see. It's a summer fun movie blockbuster. I will say that, does this get the MCU back on track by one film? No. It's just like if the MCU had a bad film, it wouldn't derail it. It wouldn't. There's some work that needs to be done in the MCU. I'm praying and I'm hoping that Captain America Brave New World succeeds it. The trailer looks phenomenal, so hopefully that works. But you know what? Fuck it, guys. Let's fucking go. I'm gonna give Deadpool and Wolverine a 10 out of 10. Go see this fucking movie right now. Is this the best movie of 2024? I can't answer that yet. We still have Dune Part 2, and I want to rewatch this again. And there's some more movies coming out. It's not over yet, but guys, Deadpool Wolverine is a 10 out of 10. Go watch this and go have some fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys real soon.